Ew. Fuck that.
Fucking stabbed it.
Is that a potato bug?
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking hate potato bugs. Those things are fucking terrifying. Literally terrifying. Like, actually terrifying. Was that like...
I gotta just laugh this out. It's a good idea.
It's crazy that I never thought I'd be sitting down with you at this table doing a podcast. Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
I really do. Dude, shit, yeah. Let's just jump right into it.
All right.
You've been working a ton.
Yes.
You said 4 jobs.
I have 4 jobs.
How's that been going for you?
It's cool. I'm not a 9-to-5 person.
Oh,
and sit in the office.
It sucks.
I like to keep going and doing things. It can definitely be like super overwhelming sometimes when there's a lot going on all at once, but yeah, it's good.
Are you still doing a Project Surf Camp?
No, so
No?
that's something different. So Project Surf Camp is what John runs in Morro Bay for kids with, I think, disabilities. We're Operation Surf, so we handle veterans and active duty military.
Got it.
And like use surfing as a way to heal or bring people together. Yeah, so we're military focused. And then I do that. I run a surf school in Avila Beach, swim coach at Morro Bay High School, and I work at a winery.
Swim coach at Morro Bay High School, Operation Surf, the winery.
Surf school.
Surf school.
Yeah.
Okay, so surf school and Operation
Because
Surf.
the surf school is a for-profit business. Operation Surf is a non-profit.
Dude, it sounds like you're doing fun activities.
Yeah.
Like for real. For real.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Have you heard about like cryptocurrency or anything like that? Have you been like keeping up with any of that?
Yeah. I feel like every time I feel like I miss the boat every time it's something big. So I haven't hopped on anything. It's cool. It's an interesting idea, but I don't know. I can't bring myself to like actually get into it.
Yeah. No, it's rough. What would you say your favorite job out of the 4 is?
Depends on the day.
Really?
Depends on my mood.
What do you have a day off?
Right now, no. I don't have any days off.
But I guess if you're doing dope shit, it doesn't really matter. Unless you like, there's days in particular where you just want to like stay home.
I definitely want days off. Yeah, like doing different things every day means that I get to mix things up. So my brain is, I'm recovering from one while I'm doing the other. It's definitely a lot. And then also with all of that, when the first shutdown happened last March,
Yeah.
I decided I was going to try to surf every day for a year.
That's right.
And then started that in May. And today is day 299. Tomorrow's day 300.
Damn.
I don't like it. I don't like surfing every day. At this point, it's like I'm so close to the finish, I have to finish, but I don't like it. I don't like not having a break. It's like, it's draining, and it ends up taking some of the magic out of the really good days.
Really?
Because I just end up being exhausted, and yeah.
There's been some shitty days where you just paddle out and probably don't even catch a wave, right? Or do you always catch
I've always caught something.
Okay.
There's definitely some shitty days, but the idea of it is, so we all have those friends that are just like surf snobs that will only go out if it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of a bummer to surf with them. Like if you just want to surf and you just want to go out and like take out a longboard and just go chill, or even just surf something that isn't perfect, they don't want to go. And so some of that is like, I feel that creeping in a little bit, having been surfing for so long. And I don't like that attitude. So it was like, I wanted to try to find something to enjoy about every day, regardless. So in that sense, it's been really cool and it's been a really cool journey. But at the same time, like in it, having gone 300 days as of tomorrow, I'm exhausted and I want a break.
Yeah.
Like I want a day where I just don't get in the ocean. It's like too much of a good thing, you know?
Yeah, I know. You know who's the surf snob that you know, or like part of my friend group that you probably know is that Julian Putnam. He's a dirty surf snob.
I can see that.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Sorry, Julian. Like you.
Yeah, sorry, Julian. You didn't swim your senior year though, so.
You remember that?
Dude, I remember. It's crazy how much I remember from everybody who swam. Like, because when you're in high school, you have so many classes, and like swimming is sort of just like one of them. But that's my only interaction.
Yeah. With
you guys. So, I was talking to somebody about this. Like, I like. You could put a silhouette of somebody swimming, and if it was somebody who was like one of the better people on varsity that swam for a while, I could tell you whose stroke it was.
Really?
Like, it's like that level of like, holy shit, how do I remember all this stuff?
Yeah. I do remember Travis Sherman saying that you were a very good swim coach. Yeah. Dude, you know what? Travis is going to watch this. He has to. Right?
I hope so.
Probably.
Yeah.
Travis really likes you.
Travis would wear that.
Yeah. Yeah. What up, Travis? I don't know if you're watching this, but how you doing, man? He like lives in Hawaii or some shit.
He's in Pennsylvania right now.
Pennsylvania.
We just recently talked. He was my assistant coach for a year.
When?
Last year.
At the high school?
Yeah. Before we got shut down.
For swim?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How was that?
We had fun.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun.
For one whole season?
Well, no, because our season got shut down in March. And so it was like for a month.
How early, or like how, were you guys able to like finish up the whole season, or it was just done?
It was like, we had a swim meet against Paso, and then we were told, no more swimming. We're gonna shut down for a couple weeks, and then we thought that was gonna be it, right?
Yeah.
And then it turned into this total fuck up that we have right now. So yeah, our season just got shut down, and then it's been like, you know, sports got shut down for a while, and then just kind of coming back in right now, and then it's just been weird.
You guys are in like a new league now, right?
Yeah, we got bumped up with the big boys.
Bumped up?
Because we did so well.
What?
Yeah.
When you were our coach, we had like in our league, it was what, like Santa Maria, Longpoke, not SLO, not AG. They were higher than us.
Well, a lot's changed since then.
Really?
We stopped competing with Cabrillo and Lompoc and San Ynez. We left them, and so it's just like Santa Maria area and SLO County. And then we divided it up, and then to have like fluid leagues based on like sports. So different sports could be in like the upper league or the lower league.
Yeah.
And it was like kind of a bummer being in the lower league for swimming, because like only one other school had a full team. And so we won the league, but it didn't feel very good. So then we got bumped up, and we beat Paso. We were probably going to beat SLO.
You were going to beat SLO?
We were probably going to beat SLO, but our season got shut off, so.
Isn't SLO like, they were the gnarliest people for like a while.
It comes and goes though, because with high schools, most high schools don't recruit. They're not supposed to.
Yeah.
So it like, and then having people that are only, that are still growing from like the freshmen are just little boys, and then like by the time they're seniors, you're like men.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you only really get like a season or two of like really good swimmers. And so it's like, it always fluctuates. Like it ebbs and flows a lot. Like after you graduated, 2016, we weren't very good. Sorry, Miles. Miles was pretty good, but.
Yeah, it was, I remember my senior year, we were shitty, right? We had 3 seniors on the team. It was me, Keelan, and Squid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we got fucked up.
Yep.
Okay. The year before that, though, when I was a junior, we had like...
You graduated 16, right?
2016, yeah.
16 we sucked. 17 we were even worse. 13, 14, and 15 we were awesome because we won the league 2 of those years.
Yeah.
I remember like Little Morro Bay, we have 800 students and we got 4 of the top 5 fastest 50 freestyles and 3 of the top 5 fastest 100 freestyles.
In the whole league?
In the whole league.
Damn.
With 0 club swimmers, just like
raw.
us just being fucking raw and like going for it.
We had some crazy like freak athletes.
You had one of my favorite swims of my entire
No way.
My entire coaching career. One of my favorites. Like,
which one?
I don't know if you remember this, but 200 IM, your senior year, in finals. You made championship finals. You were 8th place. So I said top 8, and you were 8th.
Yeah. Okay.
And you were the only one in championship finals for the 200 IM because we just focused on sprint freestyle. That's it. And we kind of threw away most of the longer stuff.
Yeah.
This is my strategy, coaches, if you're listening. But like, it takes a club swimmer. It takes somebody who trains all year round, all the time to swim a 500. So we just don't even worry about it. 200 freestyle, 200 IM is kind of like...
Throw them out.
Yeah, longer stuff we don't do. We just focus on short distance racing. Because if we can race, we can do 50 free, 100 free, all 3 relays. That's 5 of the 11 events.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you were in like that obscure race, 200 IM, and you just, you were just kind of, I feel like, you were this like scrawny little freshman, super scrawny freshman. He was a scrawny little freshman.
I think I was like 5'2" or 5'4" or something like that, and I think I weighed like 94 pounds. It was ridiculous.
It was under 100.
I had not hit puberty yet.
I remember Julianne calling you like little Luke. Mm-hmm. We were laughing at you one day because we were sitting across from you in the bus, and you were just like curled up in a little ball, and you were like that big.
Literally. Yeah.
But then going from that to like your senior year in this 200 IM championship finals, it was like your last race. You dropped a few seconds. You ended up going the 3rd fastest time. I think at the time it was the 2nd fastest time our school had ever gotten. It was a 2:14. You moved up a spot into 7th place. And I remember when you finished, I was so stoked that I jumped up on the table in front of all the other coaches. And I looked at every other coach and I was like, that's a non-club swimmer from a school with no pool. This went a 2:14 and a 200 IM.
I remember that.
I just sat there and stared at everybody. I was like so fucking proud of you. I was just like,
hell yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
It was awesome. So that was one of my favorite moments of coaching swimming. There have been a few great moments, but that was definitely one of them.
Damn, Dan. I'm glad that I was able to provide that for you, honestly.
Yeah.
No, swimming's great. It's a great fucking sport. It really is. It's like when they're always talking about the runner's high, the swimmer's high, and just like getting those like endorphins released. I've never been in better shape in my entire life than like junior and senior year in high school. Just because of swim, literally swim 5 days a week, like hours a day, if I do anything now, I'm fucking winded. I'm in horrible shape, literally horrible shape.
Yeah, this doesn't help.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Whatever. No, yeah, swimming is, I think swimming is the hardest sport on your body because it's mentally you're just going back and forth. Your scenery doesn't change. You're having to control your breathing. You're having to use your entire body all the time, constantly. You have consistent resistance, and then you have a coach like me that just yells at you all the time.
Yeah,
and it's like it's hard. But you talk about like that like the endorphins rushing, and like that flow state where like you just start feeling happy and things sort of slow down a little bit. And
yeah,
like
for real.
I get that with swimming and surfing. And, let me do that with surfing too. When you're on a wave, things can feel so slow and you look at like a video of you surfing and it's quick, but in your mind, it's like, it's this long expanded thing that like lasts forever. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it was, it was interesting. Right when we left, you guys got the pool.
Yep. 17, right?
It had to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember graduating and it was like next year you guys were getting a pool. Was there a particular time period of you coaching that you had like elite swimmers?
Yeah, last year.
That was last year? Were they like gnarlier than like Travis, Matt, way gnarlier?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, you must know Colt then.
Yeah, saw him today.
Yeah, he came on the podcast last week.
He's not an elite swimmer. Sorry, Cole.
He's not an elite swimmer? What? He's
good, but...
He's a senior, right?
Yeah, he's a senior. He's good.
Okay.
So we had I like Colt. But no, he's good. But we had a dude that, for context, do you remember your 50 freestyle time?
Me?
Yeah.
Fuck. I want to say like, I don't know.
I remember it for some reason.
You remember it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like 24.
Mine?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. You ended up going fast like the last meet.
Damn. Okay.
So it was a 24 high. You went one of those. I don't know why I remember this, but you went 124 and I was stoked on that. Keelan also went 24 or 24. Malzone went I think he went like 23 flat. Jack Kroll, who had the school record when you swam, went at 22.4.
Yeah, okay, I remember that.
This dude last year went at 20.7.
No. Are you serious?
Yeah.
What was his fucking 100 time?
45.8.
45? Okay, that's ridiculous.
The school record was 50 flat, and he went at 45.
Wow, that's like college professional level.
Yeah, he's trying to go. I just saw him today too. He went to stop by the pool. He's gonna try to do a 1950 freestyle this year, which is
ridiculous.
Which is awesome.
Is he just like 6'5", just like?
He's a beast.
Damn.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Damn.
It's cool. Yeah, he came and swam. He some little freshman challenged him to a race, so he came and swam. It was awesome. It was funny. But he last year or 2 years ago, he won every dual meet. He won leagues. He won CIF sections and went to CIF state and he was 12th place in the state. He should have been 8th place, but he was 12th place.
That's fucking
But it was
crazy.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Wow. And he's like from here and shit, just not like a foreign student.
Well, he was from some small town in the valley. He came over here because his dad got a job, and then he just him and his brother are both going to Cuesta right now. They're both playing polo.
Oh, so he's out of high school now.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
He graduated last year, which was a bummer that our season got shut down last year.
Yeah.
We were gonna just wreck stuff, but yeah.
So wait, who's all in the new league now? You said SLO High School is in the
Oh yeah, so our new league right now is us, SLO, Arroyo Grande, Napomo, Rigetti.
And you guys compete with all of them?
We compete against all of them. I don't know how competitive we're gonna be, but I'm hoping we beat a couple of them this year.
Have you been in it long enough to like place or anything like that?
No, our first year doing that was last year and
COVID. It's kind of crazy. COVID's been going on like strong for like 14 months. And it's probably going to keep going, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just such a bummer. It's what's cool about it. I mean, not cool about it, I guess. Like what's been interesting is like being able to adapt and like kind of take a reset on some things that maybe need to be looked at.
Yeah.
Like we kind of with Operation Surf, we took a look at like how big our whole circus had been, and you know, kind of refocus the mission on like how effective are we if we're just like inviting 300 people out for these veterans that just want to come out and chill and surf.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting, like paring that down to a point that we can operate safely, and then also the benefits to like having that be a smaller thing. I mean, and then swimming hasn't really changed much, but because we've just, school district just, they just shut it down because sports are gathering. But yeah, it's been, I hope it's over soon.
What is Operation Surf like?
What's it like?
Yeah. Like, what do you do? What time of the year is it? Is it what time of the day do you go? Like, how do you even like qualify to be one of the members in it? Like, are you the main person that like runs it? Like, tell me about Operation Surf.
So, I am on staff. I'm the lead instructor, and I run one of our programs called OS6. And that's a 6-month program for local veterans. They can apply to it, and the idea of it is to bring people together to do something new and to have a community to belong to. Kind of using surfing as a method of connection and community, healing if that's something that needs to happen. Because when we go surfing and swimming, there's this like connection to water and to yourself and to other people that you're doing it with that you can't really describe. And so there's a really big benefit to doing something like that with other people and having that experience, and then the connections that come from that. So with OS6, we surf twice a week for 6 months. They commit to each other that they're going to show up. We go through this process. We go through surf instruction, so that they're getting instruction on how to surf. We go through ocean education, where they're learning to read a buoy forecast, looking at buoy data, understand how open ocean swells operate, how that translates to a breaking wave on the shore, and then we surf all over the county, so they just get experience with all of our different access points to the ocean. And then in 6 months, if they graduate, they fulfill their commitment, we buy them a surfboard and wetsuit and hope that this is like the beginning of a journey. And so then after that, there are other opportunities to stay connected with other veterans, whether they're new coming in or people that have done it before, like alumni. And so with that said, Operation Surf is basically we try to use the ocean and surfing in particular to provide healing, fun, and community to people that need it. And the people that we have been able to provide that to have been veterans and active duty military.
That's fucking sick.
So, and then we have another program which is a week long. People apply to it. We go through applications. If people are approved, we will fly them out to here. We put them up at Dolphin Bay and Shell Beach, and now we've been looking at like getting an Airbnb to like rent a house with everybody for a little while, which is kind of neat.
Would you stay in the house with them? Or?
No, I'd go home.
Okay.
It's more for like people that are traveling from out of town.
Yeah, for 1 week.
And then they learn how to surf, or if they already know how to surf, they just come surfing with us. We have professional surf instructors. We have veteran support that have done the program before that come back to be the sort of like the familiar, maybe not familiar voice, but somebody who has already gone through what they have. Because sometimes, depending on the person, sometimes a civilian and a veteran there can be a disconnect between, sure. Like, you don't know what I've been through. So there is a lot of value in having other veterans there. But the thing about it is that like eventually you start realizing that like no matter what people have been through, the stuff that they've experienced triggers an emotional response in our brains, and we can all relate to how people are feeling regardless of what caused it. Yeah. So we can all relate to somebody feeling alone and isolated and depressed, regardless of what caused it, regardless of whether it's like this crushing PTSD or whether it's just you're in a shitty mood. Girlfriend dumped you or whatever. Like we all, you know, not that those are the same things, but you can relate to somebody based on a feeling that you may have had that is similar to theirs. So I don't know. I think I'm off topic now, but I can talk a lot about Operation Surf.
So because last time I checked, Dolphin Bay is a really nice hotel and it's probably expensive. Where do you guys get the money to put them in there for a week? That must be thousands of dollars.
Well, so
right?
I mean, that's twofold, and that's also not my department, so I can't really answer that.
Okay.
But because I just take people surfing, honestly, and I am definitely blessed to be able to do that.
Yeah.
We have Dolphin Bay is awesome, and they've I don't know what they charge us. We do pay for it, but I don't know what it is.
They probably discount you guys somehow.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but we're a 501c3. We're a nonprofit. And what that means is that we are entirely donor funded, and so we, again, not my department, but we do have a large amount of donors that are able to like sponsor different parts of the program or sponsor a particular person or donate to equipment or whatever it is. And so it's all donor funded, and then we pay for we provide what we do at no cost to a veteran, and we'll try to do whatever we can to make sure that a veteran that wants to be part of the program will be part of the program.
How big is the like behind the scenes team? Because you're talking about some people that are only in charge of like connecting with Dolphin Bay to like get them in there. There's like a whole financial team too, or like
team is a loose word. We have 6 staff members. We have 6 on our leadership team, and our office is in Avila Beach. We're all local, and one of the big challenges with COVID has been like, how do we, keep that going, and how do we connect with the staff and get on the same page? So that's been a learning process of using Zoom and all that stuff.
Damn.
For business, or not business. I mean, it's not a business, but yeah. So we have Van, who's the founder, and just the sort of like director of the kind of the
face,
the direction.
Okay.
The face, because he's
his vision.
It's his vision, and he's an amazing human being, and one of the best surfers I've ever met. And then we have an executive director, we have communications, we have a director of operations, we have a veterans manager, and then me.
And you're the field worker, like surfing with everyone?
I try to, so I'm usually in the water with people. I'm usually managing surf instructors, which can be some egos.
Egos?
Yeah.
Why? Because they're like, oh my god, I'm
just
like,
surfers.
Good.
Just surfers have egos.
Yeah.
We've gone from having one big massive program for a week long once a year to now we're doing 6 smaller ones throughout the year. So we had one in January. We're having one in a few weeks. We're having one in May, July, August, and October.
What do you guys do if the waves are shitty during that 1 week?
We just do it.
No matter what?
Yeah. Well, so what we've done in the past is if you've ever seen us out, like we have a big production. Like we've got a bunch of tents. We've got like 300 volunteers. We've got like 15 instructors, 15 veteran support, 15 participants, and then like if we're in Morro Bay and the surf's big, we bring out jet skis and everything. But with COVID and having to pare everything down, we're operating now with only 25 people total. Okay. Including everybody. And so, but what that's done is it's given us the opportunity to be able to like change plans, right?
Yeah.
So we know we're going to show up to Avila the first day because Avila is going to give us the best chance for just mellow, easy surf.
Yeah.
It's going to be unintimidating. We can see how people do. We can see what the forecast says. Last event we were in Avila all week because it was big everywhere else, but it was also awesome in Avila.
Yeah.
There's no surf in Avila though. Don't surf there. And then the time before that, we were in Avila for a few days, and we went to Morro Bay for a few days. Yeah, just adjustments. So we've done a lot more to be able to like be flexible with whatever the ocean is giving us.
So, and that lasts for 1 week?
That's the week, yeah.
And you're with a bunch of people that have never surfed before?
Sometimes, it depends. Sometimes we're with people that haven't surfed before. Sometimes we're with people that have in the past and are just want a community of veterans. One year I worked with somebody who had gone through a traumatic brain injury.
Damn.
And he grew up surfing, and his vehicle was hit by an IED, physically fine, but the way he described it, his signals were scrambled in his brain. So he would tell his body to raise his right arm, and his left toes would wiggle.
No way.
And he had to relearn everything. He had to relearn how to walk, how to eat, how to write. He was left-handed beforehand. Then now he's right-handed. He grew up surfing, and he was at the point, like 2 years after his Alive Day. He was like, I want to get back into surfing, and he heard about the program. He came out. I got to work with him for a week, and that was really, really cool. Like, it was neat, like going through this, like, it was really neat going through a learning process with somebody who knew it in his head, but was like trying to like get those movements, like translate what he knew to this sort of new body that he had. And so, yeah, we had a lot of fun. He ended up catching a lot of waves. He had a great time, but like, I think that was one of the more memorable people that I've had. But like, just like swimming, like they've all been like memorable. I could like, I remember the entire week with every single like participant that I've been paired with. For
you have a good memory,
years.
huh? You remember a lot of like details, times, all that.
Yeah, I think for me, when I participate in something like that, it sticks with me. You know, when I'm personally invested in the success of another person, then like emotionally, like I want these people to succeed.
Yeah.
I think I remember a lot more about it, and that's why it's ingrained in my head. Like I know just about everybody on varsity that has swam at Morro Bay High School, and I could probably remember their times like just off the top of my head, because I care. I want people to succeed and have a good time and be happy and do well.
Are there some years of coaching that you'd like more than others?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Has there ever been like a favorite year for you?
No. It's all different. It's really different. Like every year is distinct because of the people that are involved.
Yeah.
You know, so like, so your freshman year, we won the league, 13.
Yeah.
So that year we had like, the seniors were who like Mac, Grant, Carrie, and like they had their own sort of vibe. And when they're the seniors, that's sort of like the dominant like vibe of the team. And then when they graduate, then our seniors are Alexander, who has an awesome vibe. Obviously.
Dude, that guy's an animal.
I know.
Literally, that guy's when was the last time you saw Alex?
He was the dive coach last year.
Oh, that's right, he was. Were you, Alex, and Travis all working together?
Yeah.
No way. On the same pool deck?
Yeah.
Were you guys like waving at each other?
We had fun.
Dang. Okay. That must have been really fun.
Yeah. But anyway, so to answer your question, yeah, I mean, like, it's hard to have a favorite when just the vibe is different every year.
Really?
It usually depends on the seniors, sometimes the juniors too. But yeah, it's just always really different. There's definitely some years that are more memorable than others.
Yeah.
Like, whether it's based on like the people that are on the team or like how well we do or like just some like significant moments. I mean, Travis is obviously memorable.
Yeah. I remember this one time, I want to say we were at Cabrillo, and you guys are doing, like, something happened, and then, like, next thing you know, like, I think he, like, did something physical to you that was, like, extremely inappropriate, and then you fucking, like, tapped him or something. You, like, got him back.
No, never happened. Never happened.
You guys had it.
Officially never happened.
Okay. You guys had a cool relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's cool. Like, considering, like, some people that have swam for me graduated. Like, it's cool considering some people friends now. So, yeah, Travis and I have a pretty cool.
You guys have stayed
friendship.
connected over the years.
Mm-hmm. Not consistently, but I'm just sort of the type of person that doesn't really consistently keep in touch with people.
Yeah.
So,
well, you're so busy.
but I mean, not necessarily that. I'm actually, I don't know if you know this about me. I am a huge introvert. Like,
I can see it.
If I have a choice, I don't socialize with people.
Really? You
Yeah.
just don't enjoy it?
Well, okay, I do enjoy it, but like, to recharge myself, I need to be alone. I need alone time.
Yeah.
I go surf alone, or like just play video games, or do something alone, and that's like recharging. Like, being social takes energy. And, you know, we all know those extroverts that they hate being alone. Like, being alone takes energy, and they get wiped out, and they need to go out and do something and be around people.
Yeah.
And I'm not like that.
That's interesting. You do like do a lot of stuff alone. You're into you are into video games.
Oh, yeah.
What video games are you playing right now? PC?
Yeah.
You're into I remember you talking about Dark Souls one time.
Love Dark Souls.
I've never played it, know nothing about it. All I know is it's difficult and it's probably scary.
It's difficult. Yeah. It's I like the kind of thing that you can just sort of zone out and, like, not think about too much. I don't like competitive games. I don't like social games.
Just solo campaign.
Lately, because of the craziness of everything, I've just been into, like, chill games. Sounds kind of like stupid, but there's this game called Satisfactory that I'm really super into right now.
What's that?
Because it's just like you get dropped on this planet. It's kind of like Minecraft in the sense of, like, you have to gather resources and build new things to explore different areas, to get new things, to build new things, to build, yeah, whatever. And there's that sort of progression to it. But it's the way that you have to build things is, like, you have to basically build a factory and, like, automate production of, like, raw coal to iron.
Dang.
To like iron rods and iron plates, and, like, there's this, like, hierarchy of, like, technology that you have to sort of, like, automate through. This is super nerdy, I'm sorry, but, like, no, sorry, I'm not sorry.
No, this is interesting.
Super nerdy, but it's just, like, it's just chill. It's not stressful, because, like, life is stressful enough right now. Yeah, so I'm super into that, because it's just something that's, like, yeah, not stressful, but at the same time, really would like a new Dark Souls, even though that's a little stressful.
Do you play Minecraft? No, Minecraft. How did you That's great. That's kind of contradictory, because you're like a coach and you're out in the community working with a fuck ton of people, like pre-COVID, obviously. But yet you really like alone time.
Yeah.
Do you feel drained when you're, like, coaching and, like, working with people out in the water? You feel drained doing it? How do you do it all the time then?
Well, you gotta do something.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I like things that take energy, right? I like surfing. I like swimming. You know, in order to do anything, you have to expend energy, you know, but it's just that idea of, like, afterward, just needing alone time and needing time to just be like, I just want to chill by myself. Not even by myself, or, like, maybe with, like, one other person. you know, like for example, this doesn't feel draining to me because it's just like, it's just chill. Like we're smoking cigars and drinking beer and having a conversation. But like doing this at like a bar where there's a lot of people around and there's noise, like that would stress me out. I mean, not stress me out. It would take energy in order to do.
What about hanging out with friends? You said like right when you first got here, you were like, oh, like, cause we were talking about like wives and stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, like I might not come home tonight. I might go out drinking with my friends. Like, does going out and drinking with your friends, does that expend energy?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, and like, so I was talking about like I work at a winery. And it's in Paso, and if my wife is at home in Los Osos, it's sometimes like I'm gonna go out with my friends. Mm-hmm. But like for example, last week I had a stressful day at the winery. It was like a lot of shit just was like crazy and chaotic. And I was gonna go out with my friends, and I was like, guys, I'm going home. Like, don't have the energy to go out. Going home. And then last week it was a pretty chill day, so we all went out, hung out after work. But again, that takes energy. So then I go home and I get to hang out with my wife and my dog, and that's like, really? That's just like, feels good.
What do you do at the winery?
I just work in the tasting room. Well, tasting room is not really a thing anymore because it's all outdoor seating. So, no, I get to hang out with people and talk about wine.
Do you know a lot about wine?
Yes.
Like what?
Like what?
Yeah, like tell me about wine. I know nothing about wine. I just know that like there's a couple red wines that I like. There's this one thing, I don't know if the brand's called Zinfandel or the type of wine is called Zinfandel. Is Zinfandel a brand or a type?
It's a grape.
It's a grape?
So okay. I'm going to preface this as saying that I feel like I know a lot about wine, but that's relative because the more I learn about wine, the more I understand how much I don't know about it. It's one of those things that's just, there's so much complexity and so much subtlety to it that I love learning about it. I love talking to people that know way more than I do about it, but I've definitely learned a lot. I like the journey of understanding. But to answer your question, Zinfandel, it's a grape. When you have like a bottle of wine, it can be a little confusing, but generally when you have something like that, it's gonna be labeled with what grape it comes from. And so there's a massive amount of grape varieties out there. They each have their own sort of subtle characteristics, but then there's a lot that goes into it, like with where they're grown, how they're grown, and then the entire process of crushing and fermenting and barrel programs and how you let this wine age and when you bottle it, and because wine is a living organic thing. It's constantly changing. So the more you know about the person or people who make it, the more you can kind of understand it. You know, if you go to a grocery store and just buying a bottle, you don't really. There's only so much info you're able to have, and it's whatever they end up putting on the bottle.
Yeah. You've been here for a while? The winery.
No, I worked at a winery, I think when you were a sophomore.
Okay.
And I ended up at the winery that I'm at right now, Grey Wolf, which is my hat. I ended up there because when I was with the winery that I worked at when I knew you, when you were in high school, I would always send people to this winery because it's like my favorite. I was like a wine club member there like 10 years ago. And
Grey Wolf?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I stopped working at the winery. I was too busy with stuff. And then I gave a surf lesson to the owner's kids, and I recognized their name last summer. And I was all stoked because I wanted to tell them like, hey, like, I wanted to like let them know like, hey, I've always been a huge fan of your winery, and I used to send people there all the time. We were just talking, and she's like, I like you. You should come work for me, like
Really?
like once a month or something. And I'm thinking like, cool, like once a month I'll get industry discounts because industry discounts are awesome. And then it ended up that I like it there, and I guess they like me, and now I'm there like twice a week.
Damn. So it went from once a month to like 8 times.
The idea was once a month, and it's really cool. I like it. I like the vibe. I like the wine. I like the people that work there. I like the people that come there. It's been really cool.
So the tasting room that you work in, is this when, I've never been to a winery, but is this when people go to wine taste and they like come and you're kind of like the guide for them?
Yeah, tasting room, I guess, is not really what things are anymore because we have to do outdoor seating. Generally, when you would go to a winery, you'd have a bar that serves the wine that they're making, right?
Yeah.
And so that would be the tasting room. And so what you usually do is they'll have a list of what wines they've got right now, and you get to, you can taste through them. It's really cool. You should do it, by the way. Just
go wine tasting.
Get some buddies, go to a winery. Claiborne Churchill's out there. They're awesome. Or Grey Wolf. But with COVID stuff, we've had to like move things outdoors. We have a commercial kitchen. We got a commercial kitchen license before all the shutdowns, which was nice. So now we're at the point where we're just sitting people outdoors. They get to hang out outside. I get to bring them wine. We chat about stuff. It's fun.
I'm liking where this conversation's headed. You probably deal with a lot of like wine snobby like people, right? Or no? So do people ever tell you, no, like this is the correct answer?
Nobody tells me that at the winery.
Okay.
Or they haven't yet. I've been around long enough to know how to deal with snobs.
Yeah.
I don't think I give off the vibe of being a wine snob, even though I think like we can all sort of like picture what that attitude is.
Yeah.
And you can be a snob about anything. Like there's coffee snobs or beer snobs.
Yeah, for real.
Like,
for real.
I'm not drinking this shit,
Yeah.
I don't know. In my own experience, I like to just try to enjoy everything for what it is. I like to have the attitude of like, just find something positive and find a way to enjoy it because you're just going to be happier that way.
For real.
But I don't know. I think there's something about just being authentic when you just greet people and just setting the tone of like, hey, we're just here to chill, and I think that helps. It helps not have to have that like ego flexing thing going on. Because I think that's where it ends up. When someone tells you what you should be experiencing and you're not experiencing that, then there's like, that's when stuff goes weird.
What's a commercial kitchen?
So a commercial kitchen is a restaurant.
Okay.
Basically. So we're able to
refrigerators, stoves, the whole deal.
Full kitchen.
Okay.
We have a food menu. We can I don't know the specific legal stuff with that, but we are technically a restaurant and a winery because we have a commercial kitchen license.
Yeah.
I don't really know. Beyond that, I'm not really sure what that means.
Yeah. Are you you work in the tasting room? Are you in like a full on suit and tie, or like what are you wearing?
I wear this.
You wear that?
Yeah.
How do they know you work there?
I mean, I wear Grey Wolf stuff. I have a hat. I've got a massive Grey Wolf stuff. I've got clothes with Grey Wolf on it. So
got it. Okay.
Name tag and stuff. But
so it's like, hi, my name is Dan, or does it just say Dan?
It just says Dan.
Okay, for sure. What color is the name tag?
Silver. I'd say gray, but No, I think that's another thing too about like the vibe of just like hey, like
it's more casual.
This is just like a like rustic backyard, just gonna hang out and drink wine. Like the suit and tie would sort of add to like the snobbery idea, and I don't think that's the vibe of where we're going with that. It's kind of more just like, yeah, just chill, hang out.
There's got to be wineries in Paso that are like exclusively fancy. I'm assuming, or no? Or is Paso not really like that?
I think there's it just depends. Like there's so many wineries. And like there's such a variety. So like with ours, thank you.
Of course.
With ours, we are family owned and operated. The family that started it in 1994 is still operating. The winemaker, our winemaker just got winemaker of the year for Paso Robles for 2020. And it's family owned and operated. But a lot of wineries are not. A lot of them, you know, it's like there's this idea that like with enough money, it's like cool to own a winery.
Yeah.
Even though you may not know anything about wine, or you may, but
yeah.
But there are definitely a lot of places that are run by foreign investors that are in my opinion disconnected from the local area and the people that work there and the people that come there, and they don't really understand Paso Robles or the Central Coast very much. It's just kind of like they're on the business end of it. So there's over 400 wineries in Paso.
400?
We were the 25th.
What's number one?
I don't know. I think Meridian.
Okay.
I don't know.
Dude, Paso is big enough to have 400 establishments.
Well,
for wineries?
that's people, and I that's a rough guess.
Okay.
That's people commercially making wine.
Got it.
So it could be somebody who's just making wine in their garage and has a little shop, which is one of my favorite wineries. One of my favorite wineries in Cambria. It's called Black Hand. It's a retired dentist. He makes wine in his garage. I think it's in his garage. He might have a facility, but he makes wine and he ages it for like way longer than anybody else because he doesn't like anyone else's wine. And so he just wanted to make his own because he doesn't like anyone else's. So
does it taste good?
He makes his own. It's awesome. It's not cheap, but it's awesome. Highly recommend Black Hand.
Black Hand.
In Cambria.
Yeah, how much does it cost to go wine tasting at Grey Wolf?
It's a lot.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's gone up, and it's gone up mostly because of, we're not just like, it's not. It used to be, hey, show up, come up to the bar, come hang out in a room, like, come get some wine, try it, hang out, come get some more, and so it was much more casual. And now we're having to sit outside. We have to space people out. We have to slot people in for time. For like a certain amount of time. Yeah. It takes longer now because of that whole process. So the cost, the amount of income has dropped because it's not just, you can't just show up now and pay $10 and hang out and drink some wine. So like, but most of the business of wineries, again, this is just my limited knowledge of the business side of it because I don't really know the business side of it, but a lot of it comes from wine club members, and that's just a matter of like, it's basically like if you think of a wine yearly subscription. So like, you like a winery, you like their wine, you buy a few bottles a few times a year, and then you get free tasting and discounts and all that stuff. So that's just a way of having, it's basically a subscription, repeat customers. That's kind of where I would try to direct people to, because that's what's going to sustain us, having regular customers that are invested and happy with the place.
Yeah.
But as far as going out and trying it, I'm a big fan of trying new stuff. I love trying wine. I love trying like spirits. I would love just like going to a brewery or a distillery or a winery and just like with no expectation and just like, I want to try what you guys make, because something there is going to be, it's going to be made by, hopefully it's made by somebody who is like invested in the success of what they make.
Yeah.
You know, and it's cool to like just be able to like, restaurants too, same thing with food. You know, when you have good restaurants where you have a chef that is like, their creative outlet is poured into this for other people. Like, I don't know, I love that stuff.
When it's non-COVID, how many people can come to Grey Wolf, sit down with their family and stuff? Is it like a big venue where like a couple hundred people can show up, or is it like 50 people?
I don't know the capacity. I mean, we've been expanding like outdoors, and I can't really answer that because I didn't work there before COVID.
Yeah.
All I remember is like back in the day when I was a club member there, and just like a little barn out in front, and there's a bar, and you can put some water in it.
They call out.
Sorry.
It's putting hair on my chest though.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it's usually mellow, and then on Saturdays it's been crazy because you have like a lot of people that come in for like the weekend and they just drink all day Saturday. And then every other day is pretty chill.
How long can you stay there? Is there a limit?
I mean, we try to just, it's an hour and a half that we try to limit it, just because that's like, seems like a good amount of time to be chill and enjoy.
Yeah. But
not just like take up space all day.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard finding a balance.
So when someone pays for like a day pass and they come to you guys for an hour and a half, how many drinks of wine, like you're going over to them with like bottles of wine, how many free glasses are they getting?
Well, they're not getting free. If they're not a member, that they have to pay for it. Right?
Per glass?
You usually pay for a tasting. So like we'll have like a little menu. There's like the wines that we're serving, and so you can go and like pay whatever their fee is. You go through like usually like an ounce and a half per, so that, and it ends up being, you know, if you're doing 5 wines, it ends up being about a glass of wine by the end. But you get to try everything on there, and then it's like a matter of like, if you like something and want to just chill, you can like have people buy bottles. And I had a group that just brought out a bunch of cards, and they were just like, they were all just playing cards and split a bottle, and like it's cool. It's cool to like be able to work in a place that people go to by choice to have fun and hang out.
What is it? So are there like weekends that people set aside and they meet up with a ton of friends, and then they hit like 10 different wineries in a day, and that's like 10 glasses of wine in one day, and like people get like it's like let's get faded and have a good Saturday event? Is that a thing, or have I been thinking of wine tasting wrong this whole time? Yeah.
We definitely get some people that are like, that have a lot. We're supposed to be able to cut people off at a certain point, which happens sometimes. But
have you ever had be the person that cuts someone off?
Oh yeah.
They get pissed at you?
Yeah.
What's happened?
I don't know.
How do you judge it? That's your discretion. Like, how do you judge it?
You know when somebody's
faded,
just wildly drunk, just like, you know, if they're standing, they're like, you know, can't stand up, or just slurring words, or just like definitely had too much.
After COVID's over and you're still working there, I'm down to like come say what up and like taste some wine, maybe buy a bottle or something.
That'd be awesome.
How much does it cost to get like a day pass and come taste a wine?
Well, for you it would be free.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How?
You're my friend, so.
Are you serious?
Show up.
No way.
Some wine. But
damn. Okay.
Yeah, usually it's like right now it's $30.
Okay.
For a tasting.
And that's pretty much one glass of wine,
which is a lot. So you'd go through some wines, and yeah, it ends up being about a glass. So like, but some people will just buy a bottle. Some people will just buy a glass of something, or whatever. We have food too, but mostly just hanging out. I get to talk about wine, which is nice because I like talking about wine.
Why did you even want to go into wine?
There are two things that I love about the Central Coast, and the reason why I'm here, and it's the ocean and wine.
Damn. Okay.
So swimming has been a big part of my life, and I like that I'm still engaged in swimming. I think that I get a lot of value in going through that whole process, especially with high school kids who just they tend to need an outlet to do something other than just, especially now, like just, I don't know, some people are just sitting in front of a computer all day. It's shitty. It sucks.
Yeah.
So I like that. I find value in that, but yeah, I mean, as far as like why I'm on the Central Coast, it's because of surfing and wine.
You're from San Diego, right?
Yeah.
Born and raised?
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Do you ever go to San Diego?
I don't go so much anymore. I'm not a big fan.
It's hard to drive around.
Dude, I am so I'm so desensitized. Or maybe that's the wrong word. I can't deal with traffic anymore. Like living here for so long, I can't deal with traffic. Like when you live in a crowded city like that, driving is like something that you have to be like heightened senses for.
Which is ridiculous.
Well, it is when you live here, and you understand that you don't have to be that like heightened, like aware, like hyper aware of everything going on around you, and like the chaos that like is a 10-lane freeway.
Yeah.
But I don't like, and then the surf in San Diego is fine. it's kind of tame and mellow. But as soon as you pass Point Conception and come up north, it's just wild. Like we have so much swell here, especially on certain months, that I go back to San Diego and I'm just bored.
Yeah.
And it's the same coastline. It's the same coastline all the way down San Diego County. There's a little thing of La Jolla that sticks out, but it's packed with people. And I like surfing by myself.
Yeah. When you hang out with friends, what do you do? Like what are your hobbies that you do like with friends, or like when you're not at home? Like what is that like?
It depends on my friends. Like we go surf, chill on the beach. I've been getting into board games a lot lately, and like board games more than like Monopoly and Life, and like stepping up from like Settlers of Catan being a complex game.
Yeah.
Like stuff above that. So like I've been getting into like just having friends over, and we'll open up some wine and play a board game.
What type of board games?
So there's this game called Dominion that I'm super into.
I know a friend that plays it. Yeah.
It's super cool. It's like, again, all this nerdy stuff, but I'm gonna talk about it anyways. It's a deck building game, and I feel like I'm still like getting into board games. I have a lot to go, but like this. So a deck building game is like you start off with like a deck of say like 10 cards.
Yeah.
Right? You got to draw 5 cards and use those cards to do something with other cards, and you'll add cards to your deck. So you go through your 10 cards. You've added a few cards. Now you've got 15 cards in your deck. Shuffle them all together and then start over again. So now you've got 15 cards, and you're building a deck. Each card does something, and so you're constantly building a deck up, and then there's an objective to try to get to before the other people that are playing. So it's like it's a nice thing to do, because it's just like it can be pretty chill. It can be pretty competitive, especially after we've had a lot of wine. It's really competitive. But yeah.
How long can one game last of Dominion? Hours?
I think it's like 45 minutes or an hour or so.
Okay, that's kind of quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I want to get into I got this game called Pandemic, and Yeah. It's like you have to. It was made in like 1996.
What?
Yeah. But apparently it's like this really, it's like highly rated. It's this awesome game. You have to like cooperate with everybody to like to cure a pandemic in the world. So you guys have your turns, and then like crazy stuff happens. Like the disease mutates and jumps borders and like all this stuff, and your lead scientist gets sick or whatever. But I haven't played it yet because my wife is an emergency services worker, and she is the public information officer for the county. Yeah. In charge of a COVID response.
Damn.
So it's a little too real for her right now. Yeah. And so it's like, all right, yeah, that's fine.
What were you expecting like this scenario to be like the podcast and like coming out to SLO and shit?
I had no expectations.
No expectations?
I think I'm probably one of the most adaptable people that I know.
Really?
And so I don't really...
That's a big statement. That's a big statement.
I like to just go into... It's a surfer mentality though, right? Of like just, I'm going to show up. I trust in my ability to just react and deal with the conditions and just go for it. So I like not really, I don't know, having an expectation.
No, that's great, because literally like sometimes people are like, oh, like what do you want to talk about and shit. And I'll have I'll have I definitely had ideas of like kind of what I wanted to ask you and like talk about work, what you're doing, swim, especially shit like that. Yeah. But like, like some of the like, so over summer, Alexander was like one of the first podcasts that I had come on. Yeah. And, we kind of like planned it out a little bit. We were talking, we were like, oh, I want to talk about this. Like I had a couple notes on my phone. And like that's the definition of expectations. Like we were expecting it to go some sort of way, and we had all these gnarly expectations, and it turned out being the shittiest podcast like that I recorded. Yeah. And then literally like 4 months later, or like a few months later, like we're just like, dude, let's run it back. Let's go into it zero expectations, and it turned out being fabulous. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, expectations suck. Literally, expectations suck, because if anything goes wrong, game over for you. Oh yeah, game over for you.
But then on the flip side too, like if you don't have anything prepared, and then it's just like, so tell me about this. It's good, and then it's like, fuck, I don't have anything to say now. So it's like I guess like going into this specifically, I know what I have going on at least, so I have things to talk about. Yeah. And I know that like for you, it's probably beneficial to have ideas at least of where we're gonna go. Yeah. So that there's something to like recall.
Honestly, I'm just kind of going like by air right now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It works.
I mean, as long as you're a decent talker, and I don't even know if I'm a decent talker, but as long as you can just like ask questions and just like be receptive, like I think shit's always gonna go fine. Yeah. Are you good at public speaking? Like, can you go in front of an audience and like talk, give a speech?
No.
No?
No, because like going out into an audience and making a speech is about having talking points and about going through a script. And it's not really an engagement. Like, this, you can look at this as like just having a conversation and asking questions and to guide the conversation. But public speaking, I don't do. Yeah. Unless I'm giving a terrifying speech at swim practice when I'm gonna destroy you guys. Were you there? You were there. You were there when you guys hid in the locker room at Cuesta.
For April Fools?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. That was my junior year.
You were one of the people that hid in the locker room, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to tell this story. I want to tell the story for anybody who wasn't there. I'm sitting on the railing right next to Ryan Mamarella, and we're just like, who is an awesome person, but I have zero in common with.
Yeah.
And we kind of just accepted that about each other.
Yeah.
Like, we have no point of connection at all besides swimming.
Yeah.
So most of our interaction was just like, hey,
Small talk.
cool. Well, neither of us like small talk, so we didn't even ask how you're doing, because it's
Are you
like,
serious?
yeah, we don't like small talk. So
You don't like small talk?
no,
It's shitty.
yeah, it's meaningless. It's filler. So we just kind of but we're both also totally comfortable. We're both introverts, so we're both totally comfortable just being silent, you know.
Yeah.
So I was hanging out. We're both hanging out this close to each other, but you know, just whatever. That was the norm. And the bus pulls up. You see the bus pull up, and all the girls come in, and they go to the locker room. And usually it was like all the boys sit in like one part of the bus, and the girls sit in the other part of the bus. So all the girls come in first. Usually the boys are right behind, and the boys are not there. And I'm like, okay, all right,
You're like,
we're doing this. So I go in the locker room, and I'm like looking around, like, where the fuck are they? And I'm like, I go out the back, and I'm like, did they go in the back or something? Like, where the fuck did they go? And I come back in, and I just hear this like, and I look up, and you guys were like, there's a door in the back that I never even saw until that moment, and there's a mirror above it, and I could see the reflection of all of you guys there, and I saw Malzone's face just going, and I was like, all right, that was good. like, and as soon as I'd said that, like, the door opened, and you guys all came out, and you were just like, yeah, we got you, you know.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, I was like, congrats, that was really good. I thought you guys all, like, just dipped and were gone, so, like, that's cool. And I was like, all right, let's go. So I go down to the pool, because I left you guys a change and everything. And there comes Travis Sherman, just like waddling down the stairs, like confidently in a Speedo, and it's just him. And he comes up to me and goes, Dan, all the guys are just hiding in the locker room again. I'm like, oh, really? So I grabbed a chair, and I put it right next to a block. And I'm like, I'm just gonna chill out here then. Put my feet up on the block like this. And a few people trickle down into the pool, and they all get in. They're like, yeah, we were afraid. We didn't want to hide. So like half the team's in the pool, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, they want me to come get them, and I'm like, I'm not gonna come get them.
Yeah.
It's like, and you guys all knew that if you got in the pool late,
yeah,
I was gonna punish you. And I think at a certain point, it was 4:05, 4:10, 4:15. I think at a certain point, you guys knew you were fucked.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't coming to get you.
Yeah.
And it was like, the longer this goes on, the worse this is gonna get. So I'm just sitting there in the pool, and then from across the pool and then above, there's this like chain link gate. You guys all just popped up and went, ah! And you guys thought you were so clever, and I was just like, and you all went, ah! And then like one by one, you were like, ah. And then there was silence, and you all just kind of like slowly dropped back down.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there like, I was trying not to smile. I was like, keep a straight face, fuck you guys. Like, just like trying not to laugh. And it was 4:25. And suddenly, I'm still sitting there. I'm just giving these guys a warm-up set. And all of you guys just stream past me and all jump in the pool.
Yeah.
And I didn't say a word to anybody. It was like, everyone else was like finishing up their set. And you guys were all like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there. And as soon as everybody finished, I drew this out as long as I possibly could. Like, I just like stood up, put the chair over to the side, kind of stretched a little bit. I'm like looking across the pool deck. And all of the people that had gotten in the pool on time were like this, just like what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
And all of you guys that didn't were all like,
yeah,
like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And I remember I made everybody that had got in. No, I had the Black Book of Death, and I opened it up, and I'd written all the names. I wrote Death 2, and I wrote all the names. Your name was first. Laser was first.
That's fucking funny.
I wrote all the names of like all the people that had hidden in the locker room the second time. And I called you guys out, closed the Black Book of Death, put it on the chair, and I said, if I called your name, get out. And you guys all got out. And I made you line up along like a seam of the pool deck. And I made you just stand there. And I was like, you guys that are in the pool, I'm gonna need you to get out. You can go off the diving boards, you can go take a shower, you can just lay out in the sun. enjoy yourselves, but I'm going to need this pool space.
Yeah.
And they're like, and then I turned back to you guys, and I remember Miles was a freshman. I think it was Miles, and I just stared at him, and I was like, stop shivering. And he goes, and then he's just like this, but he's still kind of like, trying not to. Because I remember picking on a freshman too, because I knew if it was a senior, they'd be like, shut up, Dan.
Yeah.
But I was like, they picked on a freshman. And then I told you guys were 25 minutes late to my practice. You're going to make up all of that by doing a 50 butterfly on a minute per minute you were late to practice.
Yeah.
And it was, so you guys did 25 50s butterfly. And I said that if you skipped any or didn't make an interval, if any one person didn't, I was going to add one on at the end. Sorry, it was 24. We ended up doing 25 because after 13, I made everybody stop. I just said, everybody stop. And you guys all stopped. And as soon as I said that, Ryan Kitzman goes, thank you, Dan. Thank you. Thank you. He's like, out of breath, face right. He's like, thank you for your mercy. We learned our lesson. We'll never do that again. And I'm just staring at him, letting him talk. And I'm like, Jack Kroll didn't make that one. I'm adding one on. You guys have 13 more. And I just remember Ryan Kissman going, ah! And it was like the most pathetic little like he thought he so thought he was done.
Same.
He thought I was going to have mercy. And then it just hit him that he was only halfway done.
Yeah.
And then Miles stopped because he threw up.
I remember that he did throw up, and you were like, yeah, like when you throw up, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, honestly, though, like, that was probably one of the best things that happened to me. Because I remember my fly got, like, good overnight.
Yeah.
I remember coming to practice, like the next day or the next week or whatever. And I remember, like, my fly, I was like, because we do fly, like, every practice, or like, you would change up our routines, our whatever sets we were swimming. And I remember doing fly like the next day, and I was like, dude, I'm feeling good with fly now. Like, I'm gonna kill it, and I am.
I'm only doing a 50, not 1200. Yeah,
exactly,
this is great.
Exactly. So I feel like that worked out good for me. I was stoked.
Yeah, that was fun. I liked just drawing it all out.
Yeah.
And, I like stuff like that.
Your personality is like what made it, like you, like your mind, you know what I mean? Like you like kind of doing that, like kind of chilling, like making us come to you, and then like, it's like a mental game almost.
Oh yeah. It's total mental game. Oh yeah. It's yeah. I have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
I've had some other stuff too, but.
Has anyone else pulled an April Fool's prank on you? Like any other year?
No.
Just us that one time?
Just you.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
I think so.
For everyone else, it just went over their heads. April 1st.
Well, it ended up costing you guys a lot, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't. I had a swimmer. So I had a similar thing, but it was only to one person. I showed up to a water polo game, and I was just watching everybody, and varsity was playing, and one of the JV swimmers, or one of the JV polo players, he's a varsity swimmer, but gets out of the pool, straight out of the pool, and comes up and is about to hug me.
Oh, soaking wet?
Soaking wet.
Hell no.
And he gets this close and like stops, and he's like, oh wait, I'm wet. And I look at him like, don't fucking hug me. And
Yeah. No.
And I just slowly, and I'm like, and then just lets go, and I'm just staring at him, I'm like, okay, it's October. I have no authority over you right now. And I just looked at him like, but on March 4th, I do.
Yeah.
On March 4th, you're going to pay me back for that hug.
And there's no way in hell you forgot. No way in hell. The thing is, you thought about it for like a while after the fact. Just like brewing.
So he had been like, I don't know if he was dreading or looking forward to March 4th.
Yeah.
But March 4th came. The whole team is like excited. They're like, "What are you gonna do to him? What are you gonna do to him?"
Yeah.
We have a scoreboard that I can we can put like a graphic on it or something.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So I went into like MS Paint on the computer in the office, and I just wrote in like squiggly like letters like happy March 4th and like a smiley face, but the smiley face was like off just enough to look kind of creepy.
Yeah.
And I posted that up on the scoreboard for when everybody showed up.
Dang.
And he just shows up, and he showed up like a little bit late, but not like late. He was just like later than a lot of other people. And as soon as like the whole team just swarms him, they're like, look, it's March 4th. I don't even remember what I did, but I do remember the speech that I made. And it was like, I was just kind of fucking with him a little bit. I was like asking him like, how do you feel today? Like, okay. Hey, what's your favorite food? Like stuff like that. What's your least favorite food?
Yeah.
And it was like getting weird.
Yeah.
And it was a total mind game of like, hey, just like, no reason that any of this is happening. Just, and then I had this idea came to me, and I was like, hey, what's your favorite reptile? And he goes, a lizard. And I was like, I made everybody stop. And I'm like, and then I kind of looked at him, I'm like, do you like cats? And he's like, I don't know, I guess. And I was like, I like cats too. I've got a cat. Sometimes I let him out, and you know what he does? He hunts lizards. Those are your favorite reptile, aren't they, Eric? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah. You ever seen a cat hunt a lizard? And he's like, no. I'm like, well, they like to bring them to my doorstep as like little presents, right? But not the whole lizard. What they do is they bring it still alive, they kind of carry it over in their mouth like a little trophy, and then they put like, hey, you know, like cats will bring a lizard to you as a gift. But they bring it alive, and what they do is like, at least my cat, he'll just drop it on the ground, and this little lizard is like, I'm free, and I'll try to scurry away my cat, and I just went like on his hand, I went like, hits it like that, and stops it. And then what he does is he like bends over and just takes one of the legs and just pulls it a little bit and a little bit harder and a little bit harder until it pops off. And he spits it out, and he lets the lizard go and watches him like hobble a little bit. And then my cat, again, bam, picks off another limb and then just watches it. And it picks it up with his mouth, throws it back that way, and then just watches this thing. And then like picks it up by the tail, shakes it a little bit, takes it with his other paw, puts it on the ground, pulls the tail off. The whole thing is still alive. And eventually rips all the limbs off, and this little lizard is just sitting there. And finally my cat just goes in for the kill, takes it, and it's done, leaves it their belly up. And everybody's sitting like listening to me tell this story. And I lean over and I'm like, today I'm the cat and you're my lizard.
Damn.
And he goes, fuck! So yeah, I like little speeches like that.
Those are really good, like well drawn out, like anticipation. What did you make him swim?
I don't remember.
Just something
a lot of butterfly.
Yeah.
I remember by the end, like I just sent him off in like one of the other lanes. I think it was like a bunch of hundreds or something, just all butterfly. And he was just, I remember just his face was like red like that, red like these.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. That's brutal.
It was fun.
But well deserved. You don't hug your coach or like an adult or like someone with authority. You just don't, you don't make them wet.
Don't get me
wet.
That's
fucked. That's
I was
really
dry.
fucked up. Yeah.
They got me wet.
It sucks being dry and getting like your clothes wet and stuff. Like,
Well, it was more about me telling him not to hug me, and then he hugged me. I don't like hugs, by the way. Like, I'm not a hugger.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just a weird fact.
When I saw you in the street and you were coming over, I was like, do I go like this and do like the bro hug, or do I just like give him like one of these, or like?
I don't mind hugs, like especially for people I know, but
yeah.
I don't like hugs. I don't know. I just don't like hugs. I'm not a hugger. Some people like hugs, and I don't know. Are
you? You're in your 30s, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind me asking how young you are?
I'm not gonna answer that.
Okay. I think I have an idea.
Probably.
But, yeah, Dan, you got married like what, like 5-6 years ago?
I got married in 2014. We've been together since 2008.
No way.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, we've been together for a while. Yeah.
know what I like about you is you are one of the few like adult figures I know that have not had nor have the desire to have children. And I respect that because I feel like a lot of people
Yep.
just are like, I want kids, I need kids.
So that's a couple things about that too. So when I met my wife, met her in 2008, she just graduated from Cal Poly, and we had been dating a little while, and she found out that I worked with kids, because at the time I was coaching for a club swim team, and I was working with kids that were like 8 to 12. And she found that out, and she's like, oh great, this guy's gonna want to have kids. This isn't gonna last very long. We'll just see how this goes.
Yeah.
And so we had trying to have a conversation about it. We're kind of like, don't really want to have kids. So it's been a mutual thing. Neither of us have wanted kids since we met, and that hasn't changed. And I think that a lot of people are amazing parents and live to be parents, and I think some people aren't. And I think that I've seen a lot of people that are like my age that have had kids that probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
You know, I was hanging out with surfing with a friend, and for a little while he had a kid, and I stopped seeing him, and a year later I see him with his like little kid in like a front loaded backpack, and he's like, just like, yeah, I just been with this guy the whole time. And I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have kids. And he's like, oh yeah, that's cool. Don't. Like covers the kid's ears and just says, don't. And it's like, I don't know, I know there's no like life path that is good for everybody.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people that are like amazing parents and live for it, and it's like the stuff they do for their kids and with their kids is like mind blowing. But I'm not.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to go surfing whenever I want, and hang out with my friends and hang out with my wife, and some, you know, like, yeah. And it's, for me, it's a matter of like maybe a little bit of selfishness. Like I want to live my life and not have to sacrifice however long it is to take care of somebody else. But yeah, so it's funny when I think about how old I am, because I'm kind of old, but I don't feel like it because I surf all the time and kind of do whatever I want.
Yeah. You don't look old, Dan.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, you
I
really
think some of
don't.
that has to do with me not having kids.
For real. I think the reason why I like envy and kind of like respect you like saying that is because personally I don't think I'm gonna have kids. It would have to be such a special circumstance to where like the only way I could see myself having kids is if I had a few like wives or partners, to the point where it's like, okay, I have a kid or two and there's like multiple people to take care of him or her, and I can still go do whatever the fuck I want to do, and there's still gonna be a few people at home, and like financial problems like aren't a thing, and you know, like my own time isn't really like on the line, and I can like still be there and like help when needed, but like my priority just can't be like a kid, or like
I think that still qualifies as like, I don't want to have kids because I don't want to raise kids.
Yeah.
Like, I will support someone else raising kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a vasectomy in 2014 or so. And because it was like at the point where I was like, yeah, you know, things change, attitudes change, but it was like, yeah, we've been together for a long time and we still both don't want to have kids, and I'm just gonna get a vasectomy, so fuck it. So I went to the doctor and they're like, yeah, so how many kids do you have already? I'm like, 0. And he's like,
are you sure you want to do this?
They're like, most people that come in here already have a couple and don't want any more. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't want them. Set on it.
Were they like, are you sure? Or no?
No, the doctor, I mean, we had a little conversation about it. But I think the thing that sucks about making that decision, or maybe even not having that be a decision, but just having that be of like, I can't see myself wanting kids, or I can't see myself having kids, so that's not something I want in my life right now. And knowing that maybe that'll change, but all I know is that that's how it is right now.
Yeah.
So many people will tell you, oh, well, someday you'll change your mind.
That's what people have been telling me for like ever.
Yeah. Oh, well, when do you think you'll change your mind? And it's like, okay, like, look, like I can say, you can say that's the only topic that people will start questioning you the way that they do. About like people will question the fuck out of you if you say you don't want kids. Like if I tell you I don't like this whiskey, you're not gonna be like, well, someday you will.
Yeah.
You know, exactly. Or like, well, do you think you'll ever change your mind? It's not. So I start thinking that like maybe they're acting out of like, well, I had kids and I don't really want them. So like maybe you should suffer the way that I have. Not that everyone that has kids thinks like that, but there's definitely people that seeing when you're in high school, you don't see that. You just you see your peer group and everything, and there's a separation between adults and like high school kids. And then like as you go through college and everything, you start participating in things with other adults. You start to understand that mentality. And so you start seeing people with kids that don't like them, or you see people with kids that are phenomenal parents and like, I hope you have like 20 more because you're amazing.
Yeah.
But it tends to be the people that are unhappy with their own lives. They kind of tend to project that and say like, well, you should have kids because I did too.
Yeah.
You know, things like that.
There's definitely some sort of normative like brainwashing involved where like everybody around you is doing it, so like I'm gonna do it, and like a baby's so cute, like I really want to have a baby, like let's do it. And the thing is like a lot of people do that and they have no idea like the consequences that are about to unfold with having literally a human that you're about to produce, and now you need to take care of them and tend to every fucking need, you know? That like literally that's a lot of money. That's a lot of fucking money.
I've heard
you know?
I've heard figures something like $250,000 for a kid for the first 18 years of their life.
Jeez.
Something like that. I mean, I don't know how well you can put a number on something like that, but
I bet you that is, if not like less, or I mean, sorry, like probably more than 250K, probably more.
I mean, food, shelter, clothes, whatever. But I've definitely lost friends when they've had kids, not just because of like, now this person's busy with this thing, but now suddenly people that have kids have to hang out with other people that have kids because their kids have to hang out.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like, hey, like let's go like have dinner and go get a drink. Oh, I can't. I gotta be home for my kids. And okay. Well, you just kind of the life path just kind of like separate.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like I enjoy saying the freedom is the wrong thing, because I think that has like I think that's just sort of like a cliched buzzword about it, but I think that I enjoy having I just enjoy enjoying things and not being tied down to another human being.
The overwhelming like commitment, you know, it's super overwhelming. You go from,
I think it's overwhelming.
Yeah. I mean, I'm overwhelmed by like my own personal life, and this is me without a girlfriend,
I know, right?
without a wife, without a fucking kid.
Yeah.
This is me with literally only 2 roommates, and I'm like, dude, like I'm trying to catch my breath.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah,
fuck.
Life's hard, man.
Life's so fucking hard.
I don't want to provide it for somebody else too.
Yeah.
I can barely do it for myself.
Has there ever been like were you ever in like super gnarly like committed relationships before your current one that you're in right now? Like where you almost married them but you didn't end up marrying
No, I
them?
never really almost got married. Marriage has always been the thing where it didn't really matter much to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had relationships. I've had relationships. I think my longest one before that was like 2 years long. In San Diego. I had a year-long relationship with somebody before I met Whitney, and like serious, like we lived together for a little while. I had always dated people that were like me, like listen to the same music, do the same things, all that stuff. But that's annoying. Whatever.
It's coming from that way, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, I'd always dated people that like were just like me and did the same things and listened to the same music and all that stuff. And I don't know if it's because of that, but like Whitney is so different from me that but we're able to connect on these like on a few things, but we live very different lives and we have very different interests and we have very different ways of approaching other people and ourselves and each other. And so that's been really interesting, like having an experience with somebody that you kind of start to understand that not all people are like you and people look at the world differently than you and people interact with the world differently than you. But then also like we've been together for 13 years, almost 13 years. Like it's a long fucking time.
Yeah.
And we always have stuff to talk about because we have different approaches to life. We live different lives, but we're doing it together. So like we'll come home at night and it's like talk about shit. And I see so many people that like have been married for a while that just like I had a couple at the winery that just they sat like this and just both stared straight off into the distance and didn't say a word to each other.
Jesus.
It's like so
fun.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I think like Whitney's my best friend, even though she doesn't surf and she doesn't listen to death metal like I do, and you know she's got her own life and her own friends and everything. But like trying to find words to describe this without like saying the cliche like she's my best friend and I love her and like but we find ways of like connecting that are always interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
The little things. Yeah. Really.
And like, or just little things like we'll hang out and play board games. Like board games aren't really I wouldn't really call them like my thing and I don't think they're really her thing, but we like really like it. It's really fun.
Yeah.
And we have a good time doing it. And, or, you know, like we like, I don't know, we do a lot together, even though like, and just try to do new things and experience new things and go to new places. And it's just, yeah, it's, I'm not really sure where I was going with that, but I've gone from exclusively dating people like myself to then dating someone who was different than me and like finding this never-ending loop of like interest.
Would you say that she's more like socially outgoing and doesn't get drained as much as you do when they like hang out with like people socially? Like for you, you were saying earlier, like, yeah, like hanging out with like some friends, going to like a bar, like just, you know, going out in public, it can be like a little tiring and shit. For her, is that the opposite? Would you say she's more like social?
She's less introverted than me.
Okay.
I think she does. COVID's been really hard for her because she likes going out with friends.
Yeah.
A lot, and she's had a really hard time doing that. I know her social network has kind of shrunk a little bit. But yeah, she's kind of both. Like she'll have these like extroverted moments of like I need to get out and do something and be with people, and then those other times of like I need to be alone because fuck the world.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of it.
The world's a cold place, huh?
Yeah.
Can you believe we're here right now, Dan? Like we're literally on a planet in the middle of bumfuck nowhere and like building things and working and like practicing like religion and like politics and shit. Can you believe that actually happened?
Yeah, that's when you start thinking about that and like the macro of like life. I love that stuff. I love not so much the meaning, but like just the physics and biology. I like the science stuff, and I like I don't know, learning about, I don't know where I'm going with that.
I'm following what you're saying.
Yeah, I just like I think I mean, I know what you're saying, and I tend to look at, I like learning about the sort of the physical nature of that, of like I said, physics, chemistry, biology. I really like learning that stuff, even though I'm definitely not an expert. I really enjoy that type of thing. But like politics, religion, meaning, purpose, I don't care. I don't know if that sounds harsh, but
No, I mean,
I think that those things are so subjective, and I think those things are so situational and personal. I think it's important to have purpose and meaning, but I think those things change and are fluid, and can be different from not only person to person, but within one person to be different in different moments of their life. And yeah, that's a really vague answer to it. To it, but
have you found, like, I hate asking this question, have you found like the purpose of life, or like your own life? Or is it still you're like far too young to like truly understand?
You're gonna have to give me a minute.
Yeah. Take your time.
I mean, I know how I'm gonna answer that question, but I think that the more we put ourselves in a position to be the student, the more that we're going to experience. And so that's an answer to your question, because I think that having a purpose can sometimes narrow your focus so much that you're going to miss a lot of other things. I think that approaching life and things in life with humility and openness, I mean, that can be a purpose, but I think that when you approach things with that mentality and an openness to sort of like, to have your own self-understanding of who you are, and then to be humble and open to the experiences that you have and the people that you meet and the situations you're in. I think that being a student of life and being teachable is a good place to be in. And I've seen many people, and we've all experienced it too, where you have that laser focus of like, this is my purpose in this spot, and you tend to miss a lot that happens, or you tend to like be so focused on something that that new things that come in, you have to twist those around in order to fit that laser focus. For example, I before I started coaching at Morgan High School, before I was coaching swimming, before I knew you, I was in a college Christian ministry organization. I was going to be on staff with a Christian ministry organization. I was like, that was it. Like, that's what I was into. And I had this issue that kept popping up in my head that never really resolved, and it sort of snowballed into like all these other issues. And I had this falling out with Christianity in general and religion, and because I was so laser focused on this one thing that I was missing all these other things. And then when you start like actually stepping back and like being open to not just what you think is your purpose, but open to like all of the other things around you, you can start understanding things from different perspectives, and you can start not necessarily having a focus. You can just be a student of everything around you.
Being a student and learning is amazing. It really is. Yeah. There's an indefinite amount of knowledge out there that's just like waiting to be absorbed, and you know, it's just a matter of time of when you're going to cross that path and absorb that knowledge and being able to retain it and own that power and be able to use it to your own life, your own shit. Like how many, like there's literally unlimited amount of knowledge subjects out there, you know what I mean? Like before we're off this planet, we're going to learn so much more. Guaranteed. That's not even a question. We are going to learn. I mean, tonight I learned a ton of shit. I don't know about you, but tonight I learned shit, you know, like, you know, life's just going to keep going. Life's literally just going to keep going.
But that's exciting, right? Like it's exciting that there is more out there than we will ever know. And all we can do is just be open to it and to try to like always be learning and always be teachable and always like learn from people that have done stuff before you, or learn from things that you can learn from everybody. You can learn from people that have, you know, I can learn from surfers that have only been surfing for a year. I've been surfing for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, it's just an example, but I think you can learn from everything and everybody, especially people's experience.
One of the last subjects I want to bring up, and this is a quick one just because we've been going for like a while.
Yeah,
but sure. And this is so random. You're gonna be like, what the fuck is it? I just, for some reason, I just really want to bring this up, but were you around when I would bring like bear jerky and stuff to like swim practice? Were you, or is that only water polo? Did you know that like I like used to hunt, or like my family is super big on hunting. They like hunt bears and shit.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't remember. I that sounds familiar, but okay. I don't remember it.
No worries. So there's so I learned that. So I was in Oregon for like 9 months, 2019 to 2020. I was there for 9 months, and while I was there, I learned that that they're like Oregon, tons of trees, tons of bark, like deforestation. That's like a big thing, like across the globe, unfortunately. Like I don't know about you, but I like the environment. I like animals. I like watching trees grow, not be like chopped down. But
yeah,
one of the things that they were doing in Oregon is like with the black bear population, which is like dwindling. You know, like eventually. Hopefully not in our lifetime, but eventually fucking a common creature like a bear, it's going to be extinct. But I know in Oregon in particular, they have like a ton of really beautiful trees. And what the bears do is they like go, and it's like you know what a cat does, like when it's like kneading or whatever. So like bears do the same shit, and they like fuck up all the bark. I don't think they're fucking up the bark, but you know, for the people that want to cut down the trees and sell it, the bears fuck up their bark.
Right.
So what they do in Oregon, and it's probably all across the United States, all over the world, but what they do is like regions where like the black bears or any type of bear, I guess, it's like fucking up the bark. They like hire people to go in and like kill dozens of the bears in that community. And I don't know, we were talking about wine earlier, and like that like triggered something, because like some of these bear populations, they also eat a lot of the like the grapes, and they also do like clawing on the bark and the lumber and shit. And then like humans go in and they kill like dozens, if not hundreds of bears. And that's like a thing not a lot of people know about. I mean, I'm like the only person that I know personally that has even like said anything about that. But yeah, I just think that's eventually we're gonna not have a bear population. And I don't know why, but the universe told me to say that right now.
Yeah.
So
that's something I know nothing about. So that's really interesting.
Okay. So yeah, be on the lookout, guys. Like it's, it's important. I mean, I don't know about you, but I like nature and I like animals, and it's fucked up to kill dozens, if not hundreds, just to protect the bark on a tree.
Yeah.
Totally. So you want in on that?
Yeah.
Dan, it's been great. It's been great.
It's been awesome, man.
It's been great. How'd everything go for you? Smooth? Chill?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Could do this for 5 more hours.